Hello, welcome to Beth Roars, where we look at your favourite singers and find out what makes them them. This video was voted for by my patrons and I'm really glad, as I had completely forgotten about them. It is Shirley Manson and Garbage. She's doing so many cool things already. She's using a lot of vocal fry. So that's sort of the grudge sound. I was happy. Everything is so relaxed. She is very interesting as she is someone who manages to express loads of emotion yet be really pared back and small and uses a lot of really tiny nuances. But because everything is so small, everything means a lot. Okay, that's such a 90s thing. Baby. Instead of baby. And of course, she's from Edinburgh. Night. E's are an interesting vowel because that closed sound can be a little bit more difficult to sing, especially on those high notes. However, when you're singing lower, really, you can have fun with those vowels. I like to think that there is more than one way to sing vowels. Now, I know a lot of singing teachers will be like, no. However, these vowel placements really define voices. So if you want to play around with it, especially in this lower part of your range, then do it. As you get higher, you are going to have to change it to a more standard sort of setting. And if you want to do a belty sound, for example, there are things that do and don't work, but certainly when you're around this area of your voice, do what the hell you like. Interesting. Thanks! This is exactly what I mean, just this whisperiness. Instead of, most people would go for some sort of belty note on this big build here, but she's just whispering and it means so much more. It's so opposite than what most people would do. I also love that one little moment of her mixed voice and she adds a little bit of nasality. So it's a little bit here, but the rest of it is in this really warm, low larynx place. She has a really warm voice, but we'll talk about that in a second. She uses breath as an interesting way. So she's using a lot more breath than you would in the standard way. Cry. She pushes that breath through at the end of each phrase and it gives this really kind of rocky kind of feel, I guess, but it doesn't have that punch. It's a really kind of like I don't care sort of teenagery, angsty feel, I guess. I also really love her tone. It's so heavy and warm, and I have to say this is something that you can work on warmth, you can kind of cheat that warmth, but really it sounds like it's so natural to her. The warmth of your tone is defined by the shape and space of your vocal tract, but also the thickness and size of your vocal cords. And you have the vocal cords that you have, but you can cheat that warmer sound by making a bigger space inside your mouth and your entire vocal tract. More of an E. Tight. See those big moments just means so much more when everything is pared back. Those sibilant sounds and the way she uses breath is so interesting. When she goes up to that high note, that's the only point where she's really paring back that breath, only using what is required on and even the little phrase running up to it where she's got that strong kind of consonant section. The rest of it she's using a lot of breath, and that adds to the feeling of angst. And this is kind of interesting because a breathy tone is actually sometimes more harsh on the voice than a full tone. Now this is because our poor little vocal cords, they're only tiny, and when we push loads of air behind them, they just pop open. They can't deal with all this air rushing through them. So it is something that you have to be careful with. Some people's voice can handle it, some people's can't. Some people need to work on a way that sounds breathy but isn't as harsh. And I would have to say she's been singing like this for years and her voice has been absolutely fine. So I feel like it works for her.
Don't be uptight, don't worry, baby, or we'll stay up all night. Well, this is the noise that keeps me awake, my head explodes in my body.
Again, she kept that quiet for so much longer, and with crescendos going from quiet to louder, a mistake that everyone makes is they start too loud, and she brought it really down to a whispery place. And then obviously they added that effect on her microphone as she got higher to make it feel a little bit distorted and guitar-like. But she didn't push her voice that much as she got higher. She just made a big contrast by starting really, really quiet. I love these slides. And that lovely vibrato. See how open her mouth is in that? It's got eggs, really open. It's so full of energy, all the instrumental, and then she's so chill on top of it. It's really interesting. I am so glad that you guys voted for this because it's such a blast from the past, and it's just good to rekindle my musical love for a band. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.